Ever wondered how the Pokémon franchise came to be? Let's rewind to the year 1996. The world of gaming was about to be turned upside down by two Japanese visionaries, Satoshi Tajiri and Ken Sugimori. They were the masterminds behind the inception of Pokémon, a universe teeming with colorful creatures, each possessing unique abilities and characteristics. The duo's creation was initially designed as a game for the Game Boy, a handheld console that was the rage back in the day. Little did they know it was going to be a game changer. Their innovative concept of capturing, training, and battling creatures in a virtual world struck a chord with the gaming community. The game was an instant success, marking the beginning of a new era in the gaming industry. And thus began the journey of Pokémon, captivating millions of fans worldwide. From a simple game, Pokémon quickly became a global phenomenon. This is not just an understatement, it's an absolute understatement. It's like saying the sun is a bit warm or the ocean is somewhat deep. Pokémon didn't just become popular, it exploded onto the global scene with a force that shook the world. Think back to the late 90s, when the first Pokémon games were released. Kids and adults alike were hooked, spending hours exploring the Kanto region, battling gym leaders, and of course trying to catch them all. The games were a success, yes, but nobody could have predicted what was to come. Suddenly, there weren't just Pokémon games, there were Pokémon trading cards. Remember the thrill of opening a new pack, the smell of fresh cardstock, the anticipation of what might be inside, maybe a shiny Charizard or a holographic Mewtwo. The trading card game became a phenomenon all its own, with tournaments and championships held worldwide. But the Pokémon phenomenon didn't stop there. It seeped into our televisions, our movie theaters, our toy boxes. An animated television series was created, following the journey of Ash Ketchum and his trusty Pikachu, and quickly became a staple of Saturday morning cartoons. The show was translated into multiple languages and broadcast around the globe, creating a worldwide fan base. Pokémon movies were released, each one a blockbuster event. Remember the first Pokémon movie? The epic showdown between Mew and Mewtwo? The heartbreak of Ash turning to stone? These were moments that defined a generation. And then there was the merchandise. Plush dolls, action figures, clothing, lunchboxes, bedding, you name it, there was a Pokémon version of it. Pikachu's electrically cute face was everywhere. The most popular Pokémon like Pikachu and Charizard became household names. They transcended the games and became pop culture icons. They were on our screens, in our hands, and in our hearts. Pokémon was not just a game anymore, it was a cultural sensation. It was a world, a community, a lifestyle. It was and still is a phenomenon that shows no signs of slowing down. The Pokémon world was not just limited to games. In 1997, the franchise expanded its universe, launching an animated series that skyrocketed the Pokémon phenomenon to new heights. This extension into animation allowed fans to immerse themselves further into the world of Pokémon, engaging with the characters and their stories in a way that was not previously possible. The animated series brought to life the adventures of a young Pokémon trainer named Ash Ketchum. Ash, a 10-year-old from the fictional town of Pallet, embarks on a journey to become the greatest Pokémon master. Alongside Ash, we meet Pikachu, a yellow electric Pokémon, whose loyalty and charm quickly made him the franchise's mascot. Pikachu's iconic Pika Pika sound echoed in households around the globe, becoming a symbol of the series itself. The show's plot was simple yet captivating. Ash, together with his friends, travels through various regions, catches new Pokémon, and battles against other trainers in his quest to conquer the Pokémon League. But it wasn't just about the battles. The series emphasized the importance of friendship, teamwork, and perseverance, lessons that resonated with viewers of all ages. The cast of characters expanded with each new season, introducing us to new Pokémon and human characters alike. We met Brock and Misty, Ash's first companions, and later, May, Dawn, Iris, and many more. Each character had their unique Pokémon and story, adding depth and diversity to the Pokémon universe. The animated series' impact on popular culture was immense. It popularized phrases like, "Gotta catch 'em all," and "I choose you," and made the Pokémon trading card game a global sensation. The show's theme song became an anthem, uniting fans in their shared love for Pokémon. In essence, the animated series was more than just a show about fictional creatures. It was a cultural phenomenon that transcended age, nationality, and language. It brought Pokémon to life, making us all want to be Pokémon trainers. This series was a testament to the power of animation, proving that with a little imagination, anything is possible. Like any major franchise, Pokémon had its share of controversies. Let's dive into some of them. Picture this, a typical evening in Japan in the late 90s. The latest episode of the Pokémon animated series is airing, featuring the digital Pokémon, Porygon. Suddenly, the screen explodes with rapid, flashing colors, triggering seizures in hundreds of unsuspecting viewers. This incident, known as the Pokémon shock, caused the episode to be banned worldwide, and Porygon to be largely excluded from the animated series. However, the controversies didn't stop there. As the Pokémon franchise expanded its horizons into the realm of video games, it found itself in hot water again. This time, it was accused of promoting gambling. The games often included mini-games that simulated slot machines and other forms of gambling. Critics argued that these elements could potentially encourage gambling habits in young players. These allegations were serious enough to cause changes in later game releases. In some regions, the Game Corner, a virtual casino in the game, was either significantly altered or removed entirely. Even so, the controversy left a lasting impact on the franchise's reputation. In the midst of these controversies, questions were also raised about the franchise's underlying messages. Some critics suggested that the concept of capturing and battling Pokémon was promoting animal cruelty. Others pointed out that the games could be interpreted as promoting consumerism, as players are encouraged to catch 'em all, often through purchasing additional games or products. But it wasn't all stormy weather for the franchise. Amid the criticism, Pokémon also received praise for promoting strategic thinking, perseverance, and the value of friendship. While the controversies were significant, they didn't manage to halt the momentum of the Pokémon phenomenon. Despite the controversies, the Pokémon franchise continued to thrive. From trading cards to video games, movies, and a successful animated series, Pokémon has managed to capture the hearts of millions worldwide, proving that it's much more than just a passing fad. The digital age brought Pokémon into the palms of our hands. It was the year 2016 when the world was introduced to a revolutionary game, Pokémon Go. This wasn't just another video game, it was an augmented reality sensation that transformed the way we interacted with the Pokémon universe. The game, developed by Niantic, in partnership with Nintendo, took the world by storm. It went beyond the traditional gaming experience, merging the real world with the virtual one, and making the dream of every Pokémon fan a reality. Suddenly, you could catch a Pikachu in your backyard, a Squirtle at the local park, or a Charizard in the middle of a bustling city. Pokémon were everywhere, and all you needed to catch them was a smartphone and a sense of adventure. The launch was a resounding success. Within the first week of its release, Pokémon Go had been downloaded more than 30 million times worldwide. It quickly became the most popular mobile game in history, surpassing even the likes of Candy Crush and Angry Birds. Pokémon Go redefined what it meant to be a Pokémon trainer, and it brought the franchise into a new era. But Pokémon Go's success wasn't just about the numbers. The game also had a profound social impact. It brought people together in a way that few other games could. It encouraged players to explore their local communities, meet new people, and even engage in friendly competition. It was a social phenomenon that transcended the boundaries of traditional gaming. The game's use of augmented reality technology was groundbreaking. It breathed new life into the franchise, proving that Pokémon could continually innovate and adapt. Pokémon Go was more than just a game. It was a testament to the enduring appeal of Pokémon. It showed that even after 2 decades, the franchise could still create waves of excitement and capture the hearts of millions. Pokémon Go demonstrated how Pokémon continued to innovate and adapt to the times. From its humble beginnings to a global phenomenon, Pokémon has left an indelible mark. It all started with a simple idea of capturing and training creatures, and it quickly grew into a universe of its own. Throughout the decades, Pokémon has expanded into various forms of media: games, TV shows, movies, and even the digital space. It's not just a franchise, it's a cultural icon that has transcended borders and generations. Pokémon's influence can be seen everywhere, from the way we play games to the way we consume media. It has inspired countless other franchises and has brought joy to millions of people around the world. Despite controversies and challenges, Pokémon has managed to stay relevant and successful. Now, as we move forward, Pokémon continues to evolve and adapt, much like the creatures in its universe. Whether you're a Pokémon trainer or just a fan, one thing is certain: Pokémon has truly become a part of our world.